morning, outliers. Let's cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it on today's Outlier Live. Our top story of the day: Wall Street success doesn't mean the average Americans are thriving in Biden's economy, a serial entrepreneur says. Sean Makey says the economy is breaking the back of middle American families. And I totally see this, and you probably do too, just in your everyday life, right? I just went to Costco yesterday with my family, and we had a decently full cart, and we get up to the register, and the girl's ringing through everything, and I'm looking at my wife, and we're trying to guess about how much it's going to be, just like you normally would as anytime you go to the grocery store or Costco or anywhere else. And the total came up to $585. And I looked at my wife and I was like, "Whoa, I was way off." And she's like, "Yeah, I was too." And the cashier was like, "Well, what were you expecting?" I was like, 300 or so. She's like, "Yeah, no, not even close." I mean, it was nearly double that. And I think that that is a pretty common occurrence, especially at Costco, because her reaction was unsurprised, right? Her reaction was like, "Oh yeah, this happens pretty much every time she checks somebody out at this point," where the actual total is so much greater than what somebody's expecting. Now, I mean, if you're going to get groceries or anything else and it comes out to be double what you expected for it to pay, or it cost double what you expected for it to pay, I can imagine that's going to break a lot of pocketbooks there, right? And maybe that's what this person's talking about here. Wall Street success doesn't mean average Americans are thriving under President Biden. The S&P and NASDAQ are actually at record highs right now. We've all seen that. The Dow Jones just crossed 40,000 for the first time in May, and Wall Street is thriving. The chatter on Main Street about persistent inflation and higher costs for everyday items. Why don't you get the streets? Why don't you get on the streets? There we go. Start talking to people that pay too much for bread and milk and gas and rent and ask them if they're excited about the NASDAQ. Ask the middle American, right? I grew up in a lower income family. You could have come to my apartment and asked anybody that was there, "Hey, are you excited the NASDAQ's hitting an all-time high?" And they would have probably been like, "What's the NASDAQ?" How is that affecting what I'm paying for my food costs, my rent, my groceries? He's entirely right, right? Everything that I do, right? My life and my lifestyle are centered around stock trading, and that's what I love to do. It's one of my great passions in life. But you go out into, talking to kids at or talking to parents at your kids' school, and they're not going to have the same excitement, right? They're going to be like, "Well, last I checked, I don't really care what the NASDAQ is when I have to go to the grocery store and my price has doubled and my paycheck has not." Right? That's the real takeaway here. Price is going up so much higher across the board in everything, yet paychecks are not. So who cares what the stock market is doing? I can understand that. What's happening now with inflation, the cost of goods, is all breaking the back of middle class families. The recent jump in NASDAQ didn't put them in a better position. And I think that we are at some point going to have a breaking point, right? I've seen lots of charts that are showing credit card delinquencies are rising at some of the fastest rates since we've seen since like 2008, right? Right before the recession hit. And I'm actually seeing price cuts out there now on a lot of things, which in my opinion is super telling. I forget what it was, but I just glanced at, I think it was like an ad my wife was scrolling on Facebook, and it was talking about this particular car with like $25,000 plus 3.9% financing or something like that. And I was like, whoa, that's a really good price for a car. I'm wondering if prices are having to start to come down, right? That was the whole point with inflation, or raising rates to fight inflation. Because if prices have gone up, if that was like a $50,000 car, nobody could afford it, and then they raised rates, nobody could afford it even more. The only way for somebody to buy that is if they lower the price. Same with your house, same with your groceries, whatever. The only way to keep that demand is by lowering the cost of the item. And I'm starting to see more and more cracks in pricing, I guess you could say, right? I think once we get back to $5 footlongs at Subway, we might be on the right track. I talk to them every day, and they make a point. They tell me how much they can't believe it. They dislike him. They're offended by the things he says. And I ask them, "Why are you going to vote for him?" They go, "We're at a breaking point financially. My family is at a breaking point," right? and he's talking about how a common occurrence is the historical liberal people telling him they plan to begrudgingly vote for former President Trump in November because they're fed up with Biden's economy. I think that you've got a real story right now because Biden has nothing to run on. The only thing that Biden is running on is the fact that he's not Trump. Hey, I'm not Trump. I'll make things amazing. But unfortunately, the last 4 years have not been amazing, economically speaking, for a lot of people. Granted, we have not entered a strong recession. We've not entered a depression, but we are really close to a lot of people having a lot of financial issues during this time. And then they look back 4 years ago and they say, man, things actually were really good under Trump, right? Gas was 30% less. My rent was 50% less. Groceries cost half as much. Man, maybe things were better under Trump. So I think that is I don't remember. I think this was before my time, but there was a president where the talking point was, "It's the economy, stupid." And I think that's exactly what it is, right? Let's Google that up real quick. It's the economy, stupid. Who is that? It was a phrase coined by James Carville in 1992. It's often in 1992, so it must have been a Bill Clinton thing. Yeah, James Carville, Bill Clinton's political advisor, famously said when it came to elections, "It's the economy, stupid." Yeah, so there you go. And I think that's exactly where we're at right now. So if we look at the S&P 500, we can see that yeah, it is hitting new all-time highs. In fact, it's been on a real tear lately. If we look at, let's say, the last few months, right, it hit a low of around 412 in October, and since then, it's almost been going nearly at a 45-degree angle. It's at around 547 right now. So from 412 to 547, what is that? 547 minus 412 divided by 412. That's 32% increase since October. Man, that's crazy. It's just really, really gone up fast and fast and faster. And we do have a sell signal here in Outlier, basically saying, hey, you know what? Take your profits right now because we do think that there is a potential for a pullback in the near term future. And I'd be trusting these signals because right now it's showing Outlier showing a 76% return, or buy and hold is showing a 71% return, right? And it makes it just super simple, just finding these buy and sell signals here in Outlier. But I want to send you my bullish power cheat sheet. Now, this is everything that I need to see before I enter a stock. And it's really simple. It's a one pager right here. It's called the Bullish Power Cheat Sheet. You can get that over at bullishpower.com. Just head on over to bullishpower.com. I'll send you my bullish power cheat sheet, which is definitely going to help you out for sure. Now, let's take a look at what the internet has to say about this. Wall Street success doesn't mean average Americans are thriving in Biden's economy. This person, the serial entrepreneur, says. This is true. Okay, thank you, Snow65 Snow. I appreciate that. Wall Street success in the churning of the markets by the Wall Street success is the churning of the markets by the mega rich to fake a working economy. Okay, sure. This says probable spam, but it says we're still down under Biden and lost most of what we've made under Trump, thanks to Biden's crap policies. Well, the market is not down under Biden, but a lot of Americans are feeling down under Biden. Okay, I'm actually really stoked about this story. McDonald's is ending AI drive-through ordering. Now, why am I stoked about this? So my voice has this weird thing where it does not carry through fast food or any sort of drive-through speakers. I'm telling you, when I roll up to a drive-through, it is honestly a pain. I don't know what it is about my voice, but it doesn't work well through 90% of those speakers, right? Of those speakers where you roll up, you're like, "Hey, I want a double shot of whatever at Starbucks," or I want a Big Mac at McDonald's. My voice just doesn't carry through here, right? So the one time I only experienced this once, and it was horrible. The one time I drove through a McDonald's, it was in Arkansas of all places. My kids were wanting McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, but I was driving it through there for my kids, and they had an AI ordering assistant. It was horrible. I'm telling you, worst ordering experience of my life. If the humans have a hard time understanding me through the speakers, AI has no chance, right? ChatGPT can't fix what's coming through that speaker. I'm telling you that for sure. And it was something like, I want a Happy Meal. I'm just trying to remember what my kids would have ordered. I want 2 Happy Meals and maybe 2 apple pies, something like that, right? And then up on the screen, it says, like, 1 Big Mac meal, no lettuce, extra pickles, and, I don't know, like, what do they call those? Biggie size there, supersized fries. Like, "No, that's not right." And then it's like, "Is this order correct?" And it's like, "No." So it starts over. 2 what was I saying? Like, 2 Happy Meals. Oh, okay. You want 1 double quarter pounder with no cheese and, extra pickles, extra lettuce, extra ketchup, extra whatever. And I'm like, "No, that's not right." And I gave up. I eventually gave up. And, I was thinking to myself, "This can't be real." Like, this sort of, like, Terminator-esque uh ordering system, it just cannot be real if it's this bad. Like legitimately, it lost it lost that franchise owner a sale because I could not make my order. And if I can't make my order, then I'm not going to eat there because it's not going to be right no matter what. So you trying to save a buck by using the AI ordering system actually cost you, I don't know. At this point, McDonald's was probably like $110 to get those 2 Happy Meals. Jeez Louise. So let's see what this article has to say. McDonald's has informed franchisees it's ending its artificial intelligence drive-through order taker program. The message obtained through this restaurant magazine said, after thoughtful review, McDonald's has decided to end our current partnership with IBM and AOT, an automated order taking, and the technology will be shut off in all restaurants by July 26. More than 100 McDonald's were testing this location back to 2021. And while they have been successful to date, we feel there's an opportunity to explore voice ordering solutions more broadly. Uh, you know what that tells me? Voice ordering solutions more broadly. That tells me they may be outsourcing this to maybe a low cost country for labor, maybe like India, maybe Thailand, maybe somewhere over there, and having those people take the orders. Now, it wouldn't surprise me at all, right? Every time you call customer service these days, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've called customer service. It's dialing a local number and it's somebody on the other side of the world. And I mean, there have been times where it's been excellent customer service. Like it's no problem. Everything is exactly what I need. And it didn't matter that they were on the other side of the world. Then there's other times where there's a giant language barrier and it is a huge problem. Like it is legitimately, I can't communicate with you. What am I supposed to do? So I could totally see McDonald's doing something like that because they don't want to pay $20 minimum wage for somebody to sit there and take orders, right? When they could pay somebody probably 2, 3, $4 in another country and just voice over IP over to them and have them take it, right? And it just might work better than the AI order taking there. So let me know in the comments down below. Did you ever come across this? I'm super curious, right? I can't be the only one who's come across it. But let's take a look at the McDonald's stock price. So if we zoom in lately, it had been on a decent run, but it has sold off. So it went from a low of around, let's call it 250 a share. Geez, I didn't realize McDonald's, not only has the food gotten too expensive, the price of the stock has gotten so expensive. $250 a share around October, hit a high of around $300 a share earlier this year, right as we got that sell signal. And it's been going way down ever since, right? You hit that sell signal and then watch it go down. Now it's down around 250 again, right? So it's wiped off about $50 a share. What is that? So 50, 50 over 300. That's about 16% decline since we got that sell signal right there. So certainly something to keep your eye on right now is McDonald's. And if we take a look at the outlier performance summary here, I mean, it does really well with McDonald's, 74% versus buy and hold at only 33%. So certainly something you want to keep your eye on right now. But I definitely want to send you my bullish power cheat sheet. You can get this super simple. Just head on over to bullishpower.com, put in your email address, and I'll email this over to you today. And you'll start trading with it right away. But it's got everything that I need to see whenever I'm looking to trade a stock. So head on over to bullishpower.com so you can get your hands on that. Now, let's take a look at what the internet has to say about this. McDonald's announced it'll, in its partnership with IBM, shut down at least 100 drive-through AI test sites, working on improving your fries and not slapping together a burger haphazardly. Okay, sure, John, whatever say. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, that's good. Actually, I'm curious to see that somebody actually said it was pretty good. A fully parenthetical sentences period goes inside the parentheses, but who gives a crap? This person's typos of the New York Times. Okay, does anybody really care about typos? Skynet will find a workaround. Terminator's still on schedule for 2035. John Connor is on red alert. Welcome to the human resistance, McDonald's. Oh man, a lot of people have a lot to say about this, right? And I'm very curious. Let me know in the comments down below if you've experienced this and how the ordering process was for you. Cathie Wood is saying she will vote Trump because he would do the best job for our economy. Cathie Wood said, "I'm a voter when it comes to economics, and on that basis, Trump." Now, who in the wide world of sports is Cathie Woods? Cathie Woods is a fund manager, if you didn't know, and she really, really rose to fame during this period right here in 2020 when her stock picks like absolutely dominated. Um, I mean, it was the talk of everything, and her stock picks went up 371% in her fund during this time. That was during basically all of 2020. And since then, her stock has gone down. Her fund has gone down about 74%. So all of these huge, tremendous moves she made in 2020 are gone, 100% gone. If you compare right to left, right here, they're the same price. So Cathie Woods rose to real prominence right there. That's where I started hearing about her during 2020. And now it wouldn't be surprising if she is doing everything she can to drum up more excitement for her funds, especially when her funds are so in this depressed level down here. She's doing everything she can to keep all the funds from walking out the door. And let's see what she has to say about this, right? ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood says she would vote for President Trump over President Biden in November, solely basing her decision on who she believes would be best for the country's economy. And so many people have had that thought. So many people have looked at the economy from Trump and from Biden, and they've said, I was a lot better with this guy. I'm gonna go back to that guy, right? And when that's only two guys to look at, it's pretty easy to compare A to B. My life was better then than it is now. I'm gonna go back to then, right? Make America great again. It's not just a slogan, but it's actually what people are looking at saying, oh yeah, America was pretty great 4 years ago. And it's not been so great these last few years. Look, I'm going to vote for a person who's going to be the best for our economy. I'm a voter when it comes to economics, and on that basis, Trump. She further explains the first 3 years of the Trump presidency as the best in U.S. economic history, not the last one because of COVID, and I would agree. Trump, Wood and Trump did not immediately respond to Fox Business's request for comments. Okay. Like Trump has got better things to do. Billionaire Steven Schwartzman, CEO of and co-founder of Blackstone, announced last month he'll back Trump in 2024 after a race he previously called for Republican Party to turn to a new generation of leaders. Billionaire hedge fund founder John Paul hosted a fundraiser for Trump's campaign. Billionaire Robert Mercer and his daughter Rebecca Mercer were listed as co-chairs of Paulson's fundraiser. Right, so Trump is getting the wealthy out there, right? And in my opinion, that's the people you want on your side, right? Because these are the people who create jobs. These are the people who are moving the economy. These are the people who are saying, if I'm doing better off financially, that means I can give you a job. I can provide for your family. That means if I'm feeling wealthy, you're going to feel a lot better off than you would if there were more political headwinds in your way. Peter, thanks for watching live. Let's see what Trump media stock has to do in November. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Oil magnate and founder of Continental Resources, who helped pioneer fracking techniques, was also listed at the chair of the event. So Trump is getting more and more and more of these super, super high net worth individuals on his team. And Cathie Wood seems to be one of them. So let me know in the comments down below. Where do you think this is going, right? Do you think that this is a good thing to have all these people on his team? Or are you thinking maybe not, right? Maybe we need 4 more years of Bidenomics. And trust me, we don't need 4 more years of Bidenomics. But here's the interesting stock, right? So I was looking at Cathie Woods' holdings because I had no idea what was in her fund recently. Her number one stock was Tesla. Everybody knows Tesla. But one of the other stocks that was one of her big purchases was CRISPR Technologies. I only heard about CRISPR from the Joe Rogan podcast. Okay. So yes, I'm one of those people who listen to Joe Rogan. I really enjoy Joe Rogan. But CRISPR is a DNA editing company. Like legitimately, they go in, slice up DNA, and can produce whatever you want on the other side, right? Maybe you're like, maybe you're like this guy, and you're like, man, if my parents only had given me the luscious hair genes, if only they had given me those luscious locks. And you could say, hey, CRISPR, I need some luscious locks. And they can go in and like slice and dice. And I don't know how in the world they do that. But then I come out on the other end and I've got these thick, luscious locks, and all the women just flock to me in my incredible long hair in my dreams, right? But that's what CRISPR does. They do gene mutations, and that was pretty interesting to me. So I want to take a look at their stock here. CRISPR had a huge run. In October, it was around $38 a share, got as high as $87 a share. So more than doubled, nearly tripled at one point. And then we got a sell signal, and it had been just falling down, right? From around $87 a share to around $57 a share. It's gone a little bit sideways, and we just got another sell signal right here at $59 a share. So CRISPR just seems like a really interesting stock to keep an eye on, especially $59 stock, right? And following these signals is crazy. A 49% return following these buy and sell signals I just showed you versus buy and hold it down 52%. So the market's not been very kind to CRISPR lately, but following these buy and sell signals makes it super easy. And it's also super easy to get a hold of my bullish power cheat sheet, and you can get a free copy of this. Just head on over to bullishpower.com. I'll send you everything you need to know. Whenever you look to buy a stock, how do you know if it has the bullish power? Check out the bullish power cheat sheet. Let's go see what the internet has to say about this. Cathie Wood, one of the most influential people in the business world, has just publicly announced she's voting for Trump and that he had the best economy in history. Trump or Biden? I'm a voter when it comes to economics, and on that basis, I'm voting Trump. We're so back, baby. As it should be. The person who's going to do best for our economy. Yeah, there you go. This is an ad. I want to see what this ad says. I know what I think of Biden's presidency. It's a complete failure. But I need to hear back from you. Which of Biden's failures makes you the most want to support President Trump? That's an ad. Okay. I love it when people are strong enough to stand up and do what is right, even when it's not easy to do. Yeah, absolutely. We are facing a huge problem in our economy right now, and President Trump may be the man to fix the job. But let me know what you think down in the comments down below. I am totally open to hear your perspectives. And of course, I'm not always right, even though that's what I tell my kids. I'm not always right. But the YouTube algorithm is always right. And it wants you to click one of these two videos, right? It has determined that based on your own viewing preferences, you are going to love one of these. So click one of those to watch more, and I'll see you in the next episode.